Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Samantha Hamilton. I'm a recent graduate from Johns Hopkins University, and I'm currently a research intern with Sea Otter Savvy. So like Dakota earlier today, I'm going to be presenting a poster, and the topic will be on some recent findings from Sea Otter Savvy's ongoing research looking into the very interesting relationship between human camera use and southern sea otter disturbance. So for a little bit of background, professional and amateur photography has never been more popular than it is today. And there are three main contributing factors to this. One is technological advancement that has allowed for the wide availability of relatively cheap cameras. I think the best example of this is right in my pocket. There's hardly any cell phones out there today with no cameras built into it, and mine has three in it by itself. So there's that. And the other two contributors is the rise in ecotourism that we've seen in recent years, as well as that darn social media, encouraging folks to get out there and take more pictures. And so together, we're seeing an increase in photo taking, which is actually tending to draw people closer and closer to wildlife. Now, research has shown that just the sheer presence of a photographer can increase stress in wildlife. And that's not to mention the visual or audio stimuli that can come with photography, such as the shutter clicking or flashes. And so at its worst, though, photography might increase human sea otter or just human wildlife conflict, as well as lead to habituation to humans, as we saw with 841's mom, and looks like 841. And so previous research conducted by our very own Heather Barrett has shown that when humans close their distance in on sea otters, the likelihood of disturbance to those animals increases exponentially, as we see here on this poster. So what this research does is it kind of wants to see how human camera use plays into that whole equation. So for my research, I drew on data that's been collected over the past 2.5 years by many volunteers and Sea Otter Savvy staff members using scan sampling methods. And in total, we've collectively done over 400 scan samples in 2.5 years. So using that data, we know today that marine recreationists using a camera tend to be approximately 10 meters closer to sea otters than those recreationists without a camera. And we kind of looked at the camera user group a bit more closely, and we saw that those using cameras on their smartphones tended to approach sea otters a bit closer than those using those DSLR or digital single lens reflex cameras. And so we kind of broke that data down just a bit more according to what activities the humans with cameras were engaging in and by location. And so when it comes to the stimulus type, it seems that those engaging in kayaking or paddleboarding tended to approach sea otters closer when they were trying to take pictures of them. And shore, those folks on shore, it's a close follow-up. And noticeably, ecotours are doing a great job. They're keeping a pretty safe distance from sea otters, doing a great job of respecting their space. And in terms of study site, perhaps the humans with cameras who are approaching sea otters the closest are down in Port San Luis. And they have a greater than 25% likelihood of disturbing the sea otters down there. And so with that data in mind, we see that camera use, especially with those found on smartphones, tend to decrease the human sea otter distance. And we also see that folks on kayaks and paddleboards and other small crafts also tend to approach sea otters the closest. So the take-home message here is whenever you're in a sea otter habitat, let's remember to give them their space, respect their nap, and maybe we can try to engage with nature, maybe not so much through a screen, but just kind of enjoying the experience that you have out there and engaging with sea otters in that way. So thank you so much, and I'm happy to take questions later.